Good morning, chickadoes and chickadees. Today is Thursday, November 5th, and this is your lesson video. So we're in the middle of our argumentation unit, which we are looking at TED Talk videos and practicing the Tolman model method, because in the end, what I'm going to want you to do is build your own TED Talk using the argumentation method writing structure that is required for our writing exam in May. So we're using TED Talk as our inspiration, but we're using it also as a form of inspiration for our own pieces. So we'll continue along that lines, interwoven with that to help build our writing mastery, our craft as a writer, the ability to write well. We're also going to be using The Great Gatsby as a syntactical study. We're going to look at the sentence structure, the writing of Fitzgerald, and how he puts sentences together and the different types of sentences. So the portfolio instructions that you see here is what I'm going to be referencing and utilizing in today's lesson of telling you this is what I want for the portfolio itself. So the instructions are saying we're focusing on The Great Gatsby, we're reading it, but we're not going to be focusing like on the characters and conflict that way and having quizzes about like what color was the car, what did Daisy tell Gatsby, none of the story structure stuff. We're going to be looking just at the writing itself and documenting, creating a portfolio of those beautiful sentences that we see, these beautifully crafted sentences, just like what we do with our academic vocabulary, which y'all should have turned in for project 2. Now we're just focusing on sentences, beautiful sentences, well-written sentences, and analyzing those pieces and imitating those, just like we've been doing with some of our warm-ups. So you'll have a syntax page in a sense. I had to convert this digitally. Last year we did it on in booklets, but the syntax page is your page to document, list the sentences that you came across each chapter. So every chapter that you're dealing with, 9 chapters in total, you are looking for 3 well-crafted sentences, beautiful sentences. And I'll be providing some examples as we go along. And once those examples are used, you can't use them. The examples that I'm pulling from are little quips that you can find quickly online, like from Spark Notes and Lit Hub and Lit Charts and stuff like that. I want you to read the text. You are responsible for reading an outside novel, and you'll be given class time to do so, but also incorporate your own time to get that done. So we're looking at sentences for you to just write down the sentence and then tell me what element it embodies. Again, I will focus on that in just a second, and then proper MLA documentation is required. We need that citation, which is good practice. For the analysis page, what you're going to do is from the 3 sentences that you gave me, okay, it's like, ooh, these are really good sentences from this chapter. You're going to pick one. You're going to focus on that one particular sentence and focus your energy on breaking it apart, discussing it, talking about the type of sentence that it is, and then imitating in itself. And you'll do this for each sentence that you focus on. So 3 sentences that you're proposing, saying, hey, look, I found 3 really good sentences in this chapter. You're going to pick one of them and say, let me talk to you more about it. Let me explain to you how it's beautiful, why it's beautiful, explain its type of sentence structure, and let me show you I can write one just like that. And you'll do that again for all 9 chapters. When you look for these sentences, these are the 2 elements that I'm looking for. When you get the sentence, like, is it a simile? Is it a metaphor? Is it personification? Is it imagery? Is it irony? Is it hyperbole? Or is it a sentence that shows conflict? Is it a sentence that indicates tone, setting? So fiction elements, yes, we're not, again, harping on them. You're just telling me this sentence talks to me about who Daisy is. This sentence is a metaphor for his love for her. This sentence is a symbolic version of the struggles and trials that he's been through. It's just, again, to help conversation. So identify which of the tropes or fictional elements does it apply to. Trope is the same term as figurative language. We just use tropes in argumentation. It's like the concept of narrator and speaker. They're both the voice of the piece, but we say narrator in short stories and novels, and we say speaker in poetry. Tomato, tomato, it's the same thing. We just try to be fancy about it. So in argumentation, we don't say figurative language, we say trope. So then as you identify your sentences, Then we can start building on, okay, what type of sentence is it? Is it a simple sentence, periodic, cumulative, inverted, parallel, triactic, anaphora, record, chiasmus, antithesis? And I'm going to be providing a document, a website for you to go to that kind of outlines these and gives you an idea of what they are. You know what they are, you use them. It's now just associating. It's like, oh, that's what that's called. So the portfolio page is going to look like this. And then let me go ahead and change this just so that we know this is just a sample. You're going to get another document in the folders in Schoology to say that this is the actual portfolio that you're using. So when you build, like, say, chapter 1, I'm going to give you time tomorrow to read, just to go through and read and start compiling your list. I want you to write your sentence here. And what I'll do tomorrow is, as I'm reading and I look online, I'm going to put my examples here. And again, these are going to be the ones that you can find quickly on the internet, just not by reading. So those are going to be those sentences that you cannot use. And then identifying, is this a simile? Is this an anaphora? Sorry, not anaphora. Is this talking about conflict? Is this showing the theme? I'll give an example here. And then what that analysis looks like, just writing the sentence again, talking to me about what's beautiful about that sentence, about how it's written, not about what's being said, but is it a complex structure? Is there a sense of a cadence in it? Is there multiple ideas being presented and it just flows and builds upon each other? Like, what makes the sentence beautiful? The sentence structures is you identifying, oh, this sentence is an aphra, this sentence is a chiasmus.
Good morning,
And then telling me why. And then imitation, right? That's what I want for the project. All right, I'll follow it more in another video.